Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. It's approximately 5:30. We're out here at 120 West Washington Street. Can I please get a roll call?
Mayor Sims.
Here.
Attorney George Loy.
Here.
Josh Leonard.
Here.
Steve Brown.
Here.
Good, gentlemen. If we've had a chance to review the minutes from June 16th for our last meeting, may I please get an approval?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting on June 16th, 2025.
I second that.
Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
Thank you. On to additions or deletions to the agenda. I don't believe we have any tonight. Old business, there's no old business. New business, we are at utility adjustments. Is there a Jessica Gomez? 504 Turpy Street?
One we tabled from last month.
Was it?
Is it not?
I
think
don't-
so. Thought it was. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, tabled last month.
What was the reason? Do we know?
I don't know, it's something that you.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
She wasn't here.
Okay.
So just deny it, flat out deny it, or?
You may.
All right, I make a motion to deny the adjustment for Jessica Gomez, not sure.
I second that motion.
Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
And Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Okay, under utility adjustments, Kelly Smolik, 110 South Beach Drive. Looks like there was a leak in the crawl space. Hi. How are you doing today? Oh, don't be. Can't be more nervous than me.
All right, you're not gonna have to play Plinko or anything. Price is right. Everything fixed underneath there, got everything all taken care of?
Yes, the whole line.
Fantastic. All right, I make a motion to approve the adjustment of $395.84. Does that sound right? Okay.
I second that motion.
Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
And Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mrs.
very
Small,
much.
if you can just go down and see Doug for me. Thank you. Yep. Next one is Danny Harvey and Jan Oates at 208 South Park Drive. Leak in the crawl space. Hi, Jan. Yeah.
Yeah, crawl space.
Yeah. I guess same question. Everything all fixed up. We're all good. All taken care of.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, make a motion to approve the adjustment of 344.01 is what I have here. Does that
Okay.
sound right?
I think so. I think
Okay.
that's what Brenda said.
Fantastic.
Mayor Sims.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
And Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Thank you, Jan. Just go down and see Doug. Yep.
Come over here, Jan.
Utility adjustment for Maria Lopez on Ireland Street for $121.56.
Didn't know that.
There's any.
You got any in there?
Where's the-
Should I bring it to you?
Maria.
That's what
66.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you Maria? Perfect.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, we got a little mixed up there on the
I
order,
apologize.
but so you got everything all taken care of, fixed? Fantastic. All right, I make a motion to approve the adjustment of 166.70.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
I said, second motion.
Aye.
Steve Brown
Aye.
and Josh Leonard.
Okay.
Please see the gentleman down the line there. Thanks.
And I have a utility, Dave Dilling, I apologize. Mr. Dilling? Oh, hi, how you doing? Sorry about that. No, my bad. How are you doing today?
Testing, it works.
There you go.
All right, so we're all fixed up.
Yeah.
Got it. Somebody
was
took
like
care of it here in
in
town?
Between the wall, between the bathroom and,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Happens.
I got a new laundry room out of it.
Cool.
Yes.
Even better.
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the adjustment of 121.56 for David Dilling.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Mayor Sims, Steve Brown
Aye.
and Josh Leonard.
Thank you.
Okay, new business, item number 2. We are on the bid openings for trash collection.
Our current contract for trash collection expires at the end of this year. It was a 5-year contract. And we have we've requested and advertised asking for bids for trash collection starting in 2016. And then we've asked for 2 alternatives, one being a 3-year contract and one being a 5-year contract. The time has expired for submission of bids. And it appears that we have received 4 bids. One from Waste Management of Indiana LLC, Apex Waste Incorporated, Trash Cans LLC, and On Point Waste Services. Is there anyone representing any other entity who thought they submitted a bid whose name I didn't mention? What I'll do is I'll open the bids and I'm going to read off the dollar amount. And again, we have a 3-year alternative and a 5-year alternative. And I'm going to read the total annual cost per year for each. Waste Management of Indiana for a 3-year contract. Year 1 being $306,075, $306,075. For year 2, that being 2027, $321,321, $321,321. For year 3, $337,491, $337,491. That's for a 3-year contract. For a 5-year contract, year 1 starting in 2026, $282,975, $282,975. Year 2, $297,066, $297,066. For year 3, $311,850, $311,850. For year 4, $327,558, $327,558. And for year 5, $343,959, $343,959. Next bid is from Apex Waste Incorporated of North Judson. And it appears they've submitted a bid on a 5-year basis only. Year one, 308,000, 385,000. 308,385. Year two, $317,636.52 per year. 317,636.52. For year three, $327,165.60 per year. 327,165.60. For year four, $340,252.20. 340,252.20. And for year five, $353,862.24. 353,862.24. Next bid is from Trash Cans LLC, and Cans is spelled K-A-N-S, of Lafayette, Indiana. It appears that Trash Cans LLC has submitted both a 5-year option and a 3-year option. And their bid is submitted on a per unit per month basis. So I'm going to announce that, but our bids were to be based, looking here, hang on, our bids were to be based upon Frank, you have that number? It's in the contract. Hang on. Okay. Our bid was to be based on 1,925 units, right? So this bid is fine. We'll just have to do some math, but for the 3-year option, the first year is $16.50 per unit per month. So for a whole year, of course, times 1925 times 12. Year two, $17.33 per unit per month, $17.33 per unit per month. Year three, $18.20 per unit per month, $18.20. For the 5-year option, first year, $13.50 per unit per month, $13.50. Second year, $14.50 per unit per month, $14.50. Year three, $15.50 per unit per month, $15.50. Fourth year, $16.28, $16.28 per unit per month. In the fifth year, $17.09 per month per unit, $17.09. Last bid, On Point Waste Services. Of Logansport. And I'm interpreting this, they bid a 3-year proposal and a 5-year. And it appears to me that On Point has submitted a bid for a total dollar amount for year 1 through 3 with a 3-year total through the entire 3-year period at $10.97 per unit for a 3-year total on a 3-year contract of $760,221. $760,221 total for the 3 years, if I'm reading that correctly. For 5 years, $11.50 per home with a 5-year total of $1,328,250. $1,328,250. And I'm just gonna look a little bit more, but I think that's the summary of On Points.
Obviously, we're gonna take them under,
You want to take them under advisement?
yes, I think, well, we got a little math to do. I mean,
Got some math to do.
obviously,
and-
so
Yeah, and there's legal requirements for us
Right.
that I'll need to examine. And
legal review and such. So yeah, that's my, and I think both recommendations is
Yeah.
we'll take them under advisement and have it something hopefully by Board of Works meeting next month.
Okay. I'll just throw out there, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, somebody, looks like we got a pretty, a bid that's outstanding there, and I want to just comment, you know, at least the On Point team who's here tonight at least saved our butts a little bit this spring. Really appreciate that. Thanks for the bid, guys. Yeah, that looks really good to me. And when it comes to health and safety of our community, I mean, that's certainly the way we'd be pointing at that. So I guess upon review, we'll go from there. Make sense?
thanks all for bidding.
Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you very much to everybody. I make a motion to think about it.
I second that.
Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Josh Leonard. Aye. And Steve Brown.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. On to new business, item number 3, water Commonwealth change order number 5. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you. What's going on, gentlemen?
Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Change order number 5 that you have before you is a final quantity adjustment on the project. Happy to say this is a deductive change order, so we are reducing the contract amount. This is in the amount of $156,254.08. We have reviewed it. We're recommending approval.
All right, to make a motion to approve this change order number 5.
Mr. Lloyd, can I ask a question? They're trying to give us money back and legally we have to approve it?
Do it very quickly.
I second quickly.
Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
Josh Leonard.
Aye. Thank you.
New business, item number 3. This is a Commonwealth Pay App number 16 for plumbing in the amount of $80,787.72.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the 16th application for payment for LGS Plumbing, the contractor on the Phase 2 project in the RCA neighborhood. They have completed the work in that area. We expect this payment application, then we expect one more for release of retainage. This payment is in the amount of $80,787.72, and we do recommend approval.
All right, I make a motion to approve the contractor payment application number 16.
I second.
Mayor Sims, Steve Brown,
Aye.
and Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. New business, item number 5, wastewater. This is a Whistler invoice number 47375 in the amount of $4,071.25.
Good evening, you guys.
Good evening.
This is a Westland engineering invoice for the biosolids handling project.
Well, fantastic.
Last bill. This is the last bill?
I think it is.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve invoice number 47375 from Westler.
Oh, invoice number for, yeah, okay. I second that motion. Got it. With you.
Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Wow. It's enthusiasm. Wow.
That's why I don't turn this on.
Hey,
Never
Thank you.
mind- Never mind the preacher.
Oh my gosh. New business, item number 6, Westler Engineering. Aaron Hunt is going to explain a bot process for us.
Thank you.
Hi, Aaron.
Aaron Hutton with Westler Engineering. Gotcha.
Thank you. Aaron Hutton with Westler Engineering. I'm Vice President in charge of our construction services. I've been asked to provide some information to you on the Indiana's BOT or Build, Operate, Transfer procurement method, potentially looking at that, I believe, for your Phase 5 project that you're discussing. So I think everybody should have some slides in front of them. I'll go through this somewhat quickly. I don't have too many here, but then happy to answer questions that you may have after that. So what is BOT? So Build, Operate, Transfer is a project delivery method allowed by Indiana code that allows municipalities to enter a public-private partnership or a P3 type of project with, like I said, with a public or private partnership. Provides flexibility in contractor developer selection. So you'll hear that term contractor and developer kind of interchangeably. When we talk about design, bid, build, you think of contractors, it's a little bit, they call it a developer with a BOT project. So you can provide flexibility with the selection of that. And then the code has really changed over the years. So the code was started in 1997. And it really was more what it sounded like, a P3 project where you had public-private partnerships, you had private entities coming in, providing financing for projects. They were owning or operating that infrastructure for some amount of time, and then they were getting their money back out of it, and then they were transferring that to the municipality or back to the unit of government. The code has changed a lot and the use of that has changed a lot over the last several years. It's become more popular here. When interest rates really dropped down and you could get low interest loans from local banks, it became a little bit more popular where they actually started using it to finance some infrastructure projects. Again, the code has changed, allowing it to be used for a wider range of projects, including your infrastructure projects. shifting more now to the last couple of years where interest rates have kind of gone back up again. You can get better rates through SRF or Okra or other agencies like that than you can from a local bank. And so the financing side is less popular than what it used to be. But the code itself has a lot of flexibility in all of those terms. So you don't have to have financing. There doesn't have to be an operational period of it. You can transfer the ownership immediately. So then what it becomes is just another tool, another option for you to procure contractors in a little different way. And so that's what I want to talk through a little bit about, kind of what those benefits are and why you might be interested in it. So if we're on the procurement method comparison, talk quickly about the design bid build, which I'm sure you're all very familiar with, which is the most common procurement method for municipalities on projects. There's obviously no collaboration or engagement with the engineering firm and the contractor. So you're going through a complete design process, finishing that, going through a complete bidding process, finishing that, and then you're getting the contractor on board and you're going to go construct it. Obviously, you're typically tied to the lowest responsible bidder. So you're kind of stuck with a low bid on that and you don't have a lot of flexibility on it. The BOT option has its own code, so separate Indiana Code 523. As I mentioned, flexible in the contractor selection. So you as the municipality can determine what the selection criteria is ahead of time, and then base your selection off of that. Typically is qualification based. There's not pricing involved. You can, because there's not pricing and it's qualification based, you can start that process almost any time during the design process. So there can be an overlap of the procurement of the contractor and your design phase, which shortens the overall time to get the project up and running. As I mentioned, flexibility in financing terms. The biggest thing now is it is accepted by SRF, by Okra, by other financing options. So the idea of the contractor providing the financing is not really done too much anymore, is how it's changed to. It can be, but most importantly, it's accepted by your normal kind of financing options. Most of the contracts are done through a guaranteed maximum price agreement. So you're negotiating a cost with that contractor and you get a guaranteed maximum price, and then it's typically paid for on a cost plus fee basis. So meaning you're going to lock in that maximum price. You're going to get monthly invoices for the actual cost of the time, material, and equipment that that contractor has spent, plus their fixed fee that they have negotiated at the beginning of the contract. And then at the end of the job, if they're under budget, then that money just gets returned to you, or you can add some extra scope back into the project to spend it. If they're over budget, then that's on them, assuming that there aren't changes. There still can be change orders with this. There's usually contingency built into it to help reduce those change orders, but it's not to say that there are never change orders. If we have a drastic change in scope, we decide we want to expand the project significantly, there would still be obviously a change order with that, and they're not held to that guaranteed price for that. It does have the operate and ownership transfer portion of it, the build, operate, transfer. Again, that is also very flexible now. So there have been projects where there is an operational period, but not required. And for most projects that you would be looking at, that probably doesn't apply. And so then the transfer would happen immediately at completion, at substantial completion, just like it does on a normal project design bid build that you guys are used to. So kind of summarizing those in the table slide of, I highlighted a couple of the main critical points that you'd be looking at is the flexible selection criteria, That's one of the biggest reasons people use the procurement method, is because you can select on qualifications and you guys can pick what's important to you. So you're not stuck with a low bidder. Flexible project timing, that's the idea of that overlap on the selection timing of that and getting to shorten the overall project. And then the use of the guaranteed maximum price. So one question I get asked a lot is how do I guarantee, or how do I know that you're getting a good value for this? Because we're not putting it out to multiple bidders. So the price side of it comes up a lot in discussions. Typically, what we do as an engineering firm is during that negotiation time period, I'm having the contractor that's been selected or shortlisted, so to speak, I'm having them do their own cost estimate. Our engineering team is doing our own cost estimate. We put those two together and we compare line by line. And we're saying, okay, where are the ones that you're higher on or lower? Where are the ones we're higher on and lower? What did you assume? What did we assume? Because the design may not be done at that point. So it's not quite like a design bid build project where there's complete set of plans and specs. So we're making sure that they have the right assumptions and the right risk in the right spot. And that helps ensure that you as the owner are getting a good value for that project and not just taking whatever number they're giving you. So that's kind of the assurance with that. But then you do have a top end on that. So you have the guaranteed maximum price. So you have a little bit more cost control than you would maybe on a typical project. I've got a slide in there on some code requirements. I've covered most of those items, so I'm not going to go through all of that. It's 523-3 is the code that it follows. There is another code that involves some other infrastructure like roadway projects that falls under a different kind of P3 that's not this. This is separate to BOT specifically for this type of infrastructure for water, wastewater projects. So if you got questions on that, I'm happy to answer that, but I think I've covered most of what kind of goes into that. The financing options, as I mentioned, it still does follow under the normal requirements of Indiana Code 36112 that your other projects do, but work with your financial advisor on that. We deal with SRF frequently on these projects, and they're completely aware of the process and are okay with that and acceptable on it. We just closed on some projects the other day on using SRF financing on BOT projects. So I'll go through quickly what the implementation of that would look like and kind of the timeline of that. So there is one kind of oddity with BOT is there is a state statute that you have to adopt. So typically you have to do an ordinance to adopt the state statute to say that you have agreed to start using this. I'm not a lawyer. I can't tell you why you have to do that. That is strange to me. Maybe you understand, but yeah, there's just this one thing that you have to do this ordinance that you have to adopt it. So you have to adopt the statute. Once you do that, then you set up your own criteria. Typically the engineering firm, we would help you develop an RFQ that would go out. You have to advertise it. There are advertisement requirements, just like there are with other projects that you've done. You set those qualifications and the selection criteria in that RFQ and you send that out. You guys can create your own selection committee of who's on that to help to score those. The most qualified team is selected. And then at that time, they enter a scoping period. And so they're essentially at risk. So you would not sign a contract at that point. You would select them. And then they would work at that point with the engineering team and the owner to help value engineer the project, provide insight. They can help budget and scope it. And so as we're finalizing design and getting permits, they're finalizing their scope and everybody's working together to get that budget worked out. And then at the end of that scoping period is then when you're going to go out and you're going to close on your financing loan. So typically you'd be closing the loan after you've come to an agreement, but not signed that guaranteed maximum price with the contractor because you need that final value for your loan closing. So get that agreement, scope, everything worked out. You're then closing on the loan. At the same time, we're finalizing design. A lot of times SRF wants to see those final documents at the same time. So we're kind of all wrapping that together. But then as soon as the loan closes, there's no additional procurement after that. Then you can sign the build, operate, transfer agreement with the contractor and give them the notice to proceed and they start working. So I kind of ran through a lot there. The timing of that on that last slide, typically I would say to go out for the qualifications around the 30% time frame. So there's enough information of the project that we can pass that along to the contractor. And then have that shortlisted done and the selection done by around 60%. If you wait too long in the design process, their value engineering ideas aren't as beneficial or there's some rework in the design side, which can, slow things down. If you go too early, then there's not enough detail. So usually that 60% range is where I would recommend having a contractor selected to start working with the engineering team and the owner on the project. But that can be flexible either way, but that's typically kind of the sweet spot. So I don't know if I kind of ran through a lot there, but any questions anybody has on that? It's not as confusing. It really is. It's pretty easy to go through.
I have two questions. Can we ask questions?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. First, you said that if you do the bot method, the operate portion that you don't have to, there's no minimum requirement of how long they have to operate it before they transfer it.
In most of the projects I've done, there is 0 operating time. There is a maximum amount of that, which I believe I think it's 5 years is the maximum, but there's no minimum.
Okay.
As I think was mentioned, this started out in the 70s. Right, Marcus, we're a
The code for this infrastructure came out in like 97,
Yeah.
but it existed previously, in
Prior to
another
that,
version.
Yeah, I think the initial application was special legislation for, I think, construction of Market Square Arena. The operational part does come into play with building of jails. I've heard of that, but forget the O and the bot.
Yeah.
On this
For the
project,
project.
yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
There's no benefit to them operating to work out the kinks, if there happen to be any?
You still have the same, bonding. You have the same performance bond, payment bond. Those are required by the code that you would have on a normal project. You still have the same warranty or guarantee period that you would have on a normal project. So that typical 1 year, and you can extend it if you want more than that on there. So
Okay.
in most of the ways that I've seen it, you transfer it immediately. The owner is then operating that facility, but you still, you are operating that facility, but then you still have that contractor there under their warranty or their guarantee period to fix anything.
Okay, so when the kinks do come, you haven't skipped town?
No, you're still covered. You
Okay.
still have the same bond. You still have the same, you hold retainage the same. I mean, all of that, once it gets into the construction, is really very similar to what
Yeah.
you're used to and have the same kind of assurances.
So when you get to, you don't know the final number of how much it's gonna cost until you get to the end of the design phase.
You know the final number when you get to the end of the scoping period, which you, as the owner, can kind of decide when that is. I have seen contracts signed like before 60%, but they have to have a lot of contingency in them because there's still unknowns at the 60% level that everybody has to be okay with. I've also seen them later. If you wait until the later, you are under no obligation and you can walk away.
Yeah.
So you can select them at 60%. They can value engineer and work with you until the final design. And then if you're not happy with that guaranteed maximum price and you can't come to an agreement with that contractor, you can walk away. And you can bid it, design, bid, build at that point. Like you can just walk away. There's no obligations from the city standpoint.
Okay, so my question is, you start the design phase, right? And there's no idea how much this costs, but designers need to get paid, like the firm, whomever, correct? So you're starting work with no payment agreed on?
So back that typically, it's really loud. So typically the engineer has a separate contract with the owner. So we would
Okay.
have a contract, he was the owner to do the design work.
Okay,
And we can still at 30%, 60%, we are still doing engineers' estimates of what that project is gonna cost from the very beginning, just like we typically would.
okay.
So that portion of it is the same, and we know with you what that value should be, and then we're bringing on that contractor to help with the value engineering work.
So the engineering firm and the construction firm are two separate bills?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Correct.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, that way we can get started on it
yeah,
ahead and bring them in later, and we're working with you to
Yeah.
get you what. you
whatever your
want.
price as an engineering firm is, we'll
Right.
discuss that before.
Yes.
Then
We have
that's
a
agreed
proposal
upon.
phase, just like we typically would. If here's the scope to do this design,
Okay.
here's our estimated fee to do this, like, we would have all that figured out and sign a contract with you before the construction.
And
phase.
it's for like a length of time, like if we can't find any contractors, like we could, like, how long is typically the contract, I guess? 6 months, a
For
year?
the design,
Yeah,
for the design, depending on the project, yeah, typically 6 months to a year to do the
Okay.
design of that.
okay,
I will tell you, you will not have a problem finding contractors.
okay,
Contractors love BOT projects
okay,
because they're selected off of qualifications, not on low price.
sure,
So their risk is less.
sure,
It's not that the overall price, I think, is less at the end because they're gonna get paid only the work that it takes them to do it.
yeah,
But they have some built-in contingency, so they're not trying to low bid the next guy out and seeing
yeah,
who missed what on there to get the lowest bid to win it. It's a little bit more of a collaborative approach. They like it because they would rather get selected on qualifications than their low price number. So there's not a shortage of
yeah,
BOT firms that are willing to do it. Now, everybody can't do a BOT project. There are some requirements in there. Your small local contractor is not going to be the best. You know, they're probably not set up to do a BOT project. So not every project is great for BOT. If there's small stormwater project in town, it's not going to be a fit for BOT. It's a lot of extra work for not that benefit. A plant project, some sort of facility project is perfect for it, and you'll get plenty of contractors that come in. We typically are getting 5 to 6, depending on the project of
Yeah.
all qualified good contractors that are willing to do it.
So, and when you guys come up with the number of what it's gonna cost, they're coming up with the number.
Mhm.
And then you two come together and you find common ground
Mhm.
somewhere
With the owner.
with us.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
And then there's
absolutely.
an agreed upon number.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and we absolutely bring you in, because a lot of the difference is it's not really who's right or who's wrong. It's a, hey, they assumed, we don't have the detail worked out yet, so they
Yeah.
assumed this and we assumed this, or, maybe they didn't have all the geotech stuff, but we had a different additional information and we knew the groundwater was low and the soils were great. They added extra fluff in there because they were worried about it. We said, we
Sure.
don't need to worry about that. We come
Yeah.
together on that. But we work with the owner for sure on that process.
Okay,
It's very collaborative with the owner, the engineer, and the contractor together. And it's been very successful, I feel like, in a number of projects. We've done it on quite a few of them here recently, and it's been successful. I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't say they've been unsuccessful. There are change orders with it. I think that that's been the only struggle that we've had a little bit is, contractors they used to kind of sell themselves on BOT and GSC while they were guaranteed savings. And when they were trying to sell those ideas, they would say, oh, there's no change orders. There's no change orders. Now I feel like they're saying that, but then they still want change orders. They're like, hey, this isn't exactly what we thought at the time of bid. And I'm like, well, that's where the contingency is from. And so I think that's where the strain comes in, is who owns the contingency and what happens with that. But that's where we as the engineer come in. I mean, this is what we deal with and work with those contractors on that. So we kind of know what those hurdles are. We try to ask questions. We try to make sure that those items are in the agreement. So you're still signing a contract. We can write those things in there of who owns the contingency, how that's handled during the project to help mitigate against some of those, I don't say risk, but some of those stressful areas that come up during the construction. But from a construction standpoint, I feel like they're very successful.
Okay. Not right at the moment.
We'll certainly be available if you've got other questions later. So,
Yeah, thanks for coming up, Aaron. Thank you.
yeah,
thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we need a motion to approve this along discussion? Okay. Okay. New business, item number, where am I at? 7, wastewater, HWC engineering invoice. So we're half. 16 in the amount of $18,576.14.
Yeah, it's HWC engineering bill for City Park Lift Station.
For which, for,
Hunter Lang is the RPR. He's the inspector. Pretty cool name, huh?
Hunter.
I make a motion to pay invoice number 2024-098-7. Do I have to say
No,
7 zeros and a 16?
no.
Okay.
I second that.
Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Josh Leonard,
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
Okay, new business, item number 9, wastewater. Dave Fagan resignation letter.
We skipped
off?
one.
I apologize.
No, this one.
Why do I have these in order? I'm sorry, okay. I did have it in order. Okay, I apologize. FK, I'm sorry, gosh. New business, item at wastewater, HWC engineering pay app number 1 for F&K construction in the amount of $381,246.88.
Yes, it's also part of the City Park Lift Station. This is the contractor's portion. This is the force main that was installed.
How do you feel the project's going, Bob?
I think it's going great. I mean, 2 weeks, force main's put in. F&K will be starting on the lift station itself here in August.
Okay. Great. Unfortunate name for that company. I will make a motion to pay app number 1 in the amount of $381,246.88.
And I second that.
Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Josh Leonard,
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
Okay, sorry about that. New business. This is number 9, wastewater, Dave Hagan's resignation letter. This was effective July 27th. That's too bad. He's a nice guy.
Yes, it's unfortunate. I mean, we can't control what people do, but Dave's been with us for 9 years. I've been our lab tech, for the last 4 years, going on 5. Excellent worker. He's greatly going to be missed.
He popped in, I think last week, was it Diane? He shared with us that he built some of the cabinets and some stuff here in the office.
Yeah,
Did-
he did, and I think he did a lot of work in the clerks section.
Yep.
Gotcha. So yeah, with, heavy heart here, we accept the resignation of David Fagan effective July 27th.
I second the motion.
Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, new business item number 10, wastewater permission to hire.
Yeah, so, with Dave's resignation, we need to fill that open spot, guys.
I make that motion to have you get going to fill that spot, Bob.
Thank you.
Tell them what they want, Bob.
I second that motion.
Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
New business. Make sure I'm in the right order here.
I think we're.
Josh, okay, I'm on the right page now. All right, item number 11, streets. Consideration of promotion for Mr. Josh Watts.
Yes, with the retirement of David Livesey, we need a replacement for our assistant superintendent. And Josh has been here about 6 years and done a very good job, and I'd like to promote him up to assistant superintendent effective July 14th.
Obviously, we're very sad to see Mr. Livesey go. He's been here for a long time. Big
32
asset.
plus years, yes.
And when you know the city that well, that's a big asset to our community. I will say I've had the privilege to work with Josh. Josh is a very nice guy. He's got a great name. And I hope that this is a sign of things to come. Josh is a good guy and he works hard, and I think this is great. So I make a motion to approve the promotion of Josh Watts to Assistant Street Superintendent.
I second that.
Frank, again, what was the effective date? I didn't catch it.
July 14th.
Okay. Mayor Sims,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
and Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank. Thank you.
I would like to say, I caught some of our sidewalks being poured off of Jefferson, and they were doing a great job. And I noticed that they were using this thing called a sleuth bucket or something, where the waste from and I just think that's a great idea. And it keeps it out of the drains and keeps it out of our yards. And I think that just goes to speak to the great contractors that you get to quote on the job. And I was just really happy to see that. A lot of times when the concrete guys will wash out their spigot thing, it will end up in your yard. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's horrible. And or will end up in the drain. And so the fact that they have these big bucket things and they fill it rather than it going anywhere else is a great idea. So I was happy to see that.
That is a requirement now that they have to, they do that. They're not allowed to, wash out in the street. They have to, yes, they have to use one of those bags to to wash it out now. So yes, they do. And we keep, and you're right, the contractors we get do a very good job. Yep. Thank you.
No, thank you. New business, number 12, fire department, consideration for some recommendations of revised SOGs, number 24, number 49, number 52.
I am not
Wait,
a
Steve.
fireman by no means, and I don't even identify as one. So I'm just telling you straight up. I am a police officer, not a fireman. No, it's fine. Chief Sherrick called out to a active fire. Him and his guys and gals have deployed to Monon. He asked me to step in, and I don't know what, but I know he's got number 12, some SOPs that he wants approved. I've not looked at them. I know nothing about them. They do things
They're
very different.
riveting. I mean, it was so exciting to go through this material.
I'm sure.
I bet you guys
Right,
just
I-
love this
sure.
stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah, I did actually go through it this afternoon, believe it or not. So do we get to, do I get to make a motion on all of these?
You can.
Okay, all right. So I make a motion to approve SOP number 24, 49, and 52 is what I have in my hands.
I second the motion to approve 24, 49, and 52.
Am I to assume the average intelligence of the police department or the fire department went down when he stood up there? I'm just curious.
I have a taser.
I'm just
I have a
wondering.
taser, Doug.
No, skip the taser.
Can I make a motion on that?
It was just too easy. I had to do
I
something.
I know. It's okay.
Mayor Sims, your vote. Steve Brown
Aye.
and Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, one last one, new business, item number 13, is with the fire department, consideration of promotion for Xander Wood.
You know, I don't know Xander, but I'm sure he does a fantastic job. And I asked that he be considered for this promotion. Make him chief. For making me do this. But whatever. Xander, good luck to you, buddy. There we go. I do.
According to Chief Sherrick, yes, he brings an energetic and positive vibe to each shift. So yes, and he's completed all the requirements to be removed from probationary employment and promote to from probationary pay to public safety level number 1. And I make that motion for Mr. Xander Wood.
I second that motion.
Mayor Sims. Aye. Steve Brown
Aye.
and Josh Leonard.
Aye.
Thank you, Chief.
No problem. Hey, it's what I do.
Yeah. Is there anything else tonight under miscellaneous? Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, wait, I apologize.
I had just one other item for the Board of Works. The city received an email from the IFA SRF as it relates to the lead service line PER that was submitted. As you recall, there were a couple grants that the city received to assemble that report. They have indicated that by August 1st, we need to respond as it relates to intention to potentially proceed with another project for lead service line replacement. The good news is that based on the rankings and the scoring, they're saying that there is a likelihood of up to 50% grant again, or forgivable loan on the project. So we're working through what that means, what that might look like. As soon as we have more information, we will definitely update you, but wanted to mention that tonight.
Yeah. Is there anything else, Sean? George?
No.
We're good?
Thank you.
Yes, my girl. You're welcome, yeah.
This one's running over. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still out here in the weeds, but
Okay, if there's nothing else, our next Board of Works meeting will be August 18th at 5:30. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you. please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. It is just after 6:30. May I please get a roll call?
Mayor Sims,
Here.
Eddie, turn your microphone on, please, when you respond. Attorney George Loy,
Here.
Bill Cheever,
Present.
Shanda Cortez,
Here, can you hear me? Here, can you hear me?
yes. Gary Allen,
Here.
do it.
Thank you. On to the minutes. Last meeting was on July 7th. You've had a chance to review those minutes, make an approval of them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Bill Cheever,
Aye.
Gary Allen,
Aye.
Shanda Cortez.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, thank you. On to additions or deletions. I don't believe we have any this evening. Nope.
Did we want to, since we've had the ability to hear the presentation, do we want to delete that, or do we want to go ahead and have that presentation?
I think we all, where's Aaron?
Okay.
Aaron, yep, is that okay? Yeah, I think we all heard it. You comfortable with that, Gary? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so remove number, and that was a very good presentation, by the way.
So we'll remove number 2.
Yeah, remove number 2, and remove number 3. Number 3 would become number 2, and and you get the rest of it,
Yeah,
right?
it becomes 3. That's right.
2 becomes 3.
Exactly.
All right.
know.
Check my math.
I understood what you
All
were.
right.
I was with you. Okay, thank you. On to citizen participation this evening. Yep. How are you doing?
All right.
For the record, state your name, please.
Okay, Angie Dyer. Nice try. Yeah. My husband's Ken, and I've lived in Monticello my whole life. Well, since 1967, so I'm just a baby. I've been proud to live in Monticello, and I love this city. And it's a great town to have been raised in, and also for my kids and grandkids. And I wanted to say something about the street department. I mean, I always want to praise them. They're awesome. And today I was driving around and talking about the sidewalks, that area by Oaklawn. Amazing. Very nice. And the whole area, you know, because I'm kind of here to talk about trashy areas in town. But I'll tell you, I was really, really surprised in that whole area, how people have really picked up and places look nice. And even the national homes, you know, it used to be a kind of an eyesore in there, but it really looks good. But street department, you guys rock. And all the other departments probably too, but street department, they really go the extra mile. But anyway, I don't understand though, why we as citizens and city officers that we continue to turn our heads to the junky residences and areas of town. Some of these areas have been junky and or abandoned and neglected for many years and decades. Why can't we as a city put cleaning up a priority? Why can't we all care enough about our city to stand up and no longer tolerate the junky places, the just places that's been let go, abandoned? If you just pretend that one of those junky houses is right next to you, I think you would look at it differently and want to do something about it too, everybody, you know? Because I do. I've got two hoarders next to me and a junkie guy, junker, cat a corner from me. And then down the street, we have problems. But we've been trying to work on it. The worst of the junkie unkept violators, of course, is Dave Cox. And most people probably know who he is. He buys up properties and then he trashes them and lets them rot. The old Von Tobel building on Railroad Street is one of the worst places. It's next to the Presbyterian Church parking lot. And it's very embarrassing and sickening to look at. Also, his home that he grew up on Broadway across from Declaration Dental. He's got many other city and county places in the county and the city. But that place on Broadway is just awful, with all the caved in. I know there must have been a problem because the porch caved in from neglect, I guess, and because that was being worked on, I don't know, this spring, probably because he had to, it fell in. Anyway, I'd just like to pull everybody together and agree that enough is enough and force him and others to clean up their places. He has gotten by with this for decades, decade after decades. Why? Just because it's not next door to you, it should still bother you. Whatever happened to pride of ownership? 4 or 5 more pages. I have spoken to the powers that be and Rich Lee, and when I walk into the police station, I feel like they're saying, oh, here she comes again. But driving around today, I was just noticing, all the disgusting. I wrote down some addresses of places that really need some attention. But like I say, I was pleasantly surprised about those 2 areas, the National Homes and then behind Oaklawn. Very good. I'm even willing to help clean up properties especially if a resident is elderly or ill. I mean, if that's what it takes for citizens to volunteer, I'll be first in line. And we have a Blue Water neighborhood group, which I live on Blue Water, and we're presently meeting and working with the city. It's slow going, but certain places are being given citations and fines. And I have high hopes that it will be successful. The follow-up seems to be a problem. How about we work on the whole city together and care enough to be on the same page and make Monticello a priority on beautification? And I do have a friend here today. You don't have to get up. I'm shocked you, but Tammy, she lives on 3rd Street. And that's an area that I go down a lot. And it is just horrible. But she has such a beautiful home, beautiful landscaping that she does herself. And it's so nice. And that she has to look at probably one of the worst places in town, right across the street from her. And then in their backyard, junk everywhere. And then beside her, she's got one place is abandoned, has been for, you said 20 years? And then the one next to it, what was the one next to it? Just 5, 6 years abandoned and hadn't been mowed all year, she said too. So anyway, if anybody else would like to help out and maybe we could make this a priority, whatever I can do to help. I just, it's been going on for years. I've been trying to save Monticello from all the junky places for years. But anyway, it's just gone to a point that it really needs attention, some of these places. Well, tomorrow night, if people are available, I don't know. But we've been meeting at my house. Okay, we've changed it to, okay, every 2 weeks. So next Tuesday. Yeah, and anybody's welcome to come. We're just, we're working on our own area that we live because that's our priority. But the whole city needs to be a priority because if we just go one street at a time, it's gonna take forever, you know? So we just like to work on the whole town and we're just working on Blue Water first.
And I want you to know that the city is working on, it probably
Yes.
doesn't work at the pace that we would all like, but we are, and I mean, I think we're well aware of some of the homes you've mentioned or
Yeah.
addresses. I think we're aware of that, and there's a process that we're going through, and I know it's probably not fast enough
I know.
but
It takes time and I appreciate what has been done. It's just, I just want it done overnight.
and I visit with Rich. We've been meeting with Rich probably every other week. I think he's been popping in and kind of giving me where he's at on things, and
Yeah.
I know he's pushing.
Yeah,
Probably just not maybe not at the rate you want to see, but
I know. We'd love to see that trailer gone.
the one,
Addison Eddie's
yeah.
trailer. It's bad.
that's across the street from,
Yeah,
that's across the street, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Across the street and down. But yeah, that's what it looks like.
So last
you
I
know.
heard I thought somebody was gonna get that out. I thought there was a solution for
What's
that.
the latest on that, Gary?
It fell through. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was gonna do it cheap and then he charged it.
Originally it was free, towed away, and then he's like, I could do it for 250, and then there's another, it was, oh, $500, and it's
Yeah, the
like,
price
he
went up.
was just charging us for him to take it.
Yeah.
So I had it towed I was gonna get towed, and then the guy that was gonna tow it goes, I don't know if you'll make it across town. So it's a bad deal.
Yeah, it is. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. Thank you. Would anybody else like to come up for citizen participation? Tammy? Oh, Josh? No, you're good. Okay. Thank you. Department head reports. Any questions?
I do not have any questions.
Gary? You got a whole list? No?
Good job.
Okay.
It's
All right, there is no old business, new business. White County Area Plan with consideration of ordinance number 202509. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
So I'm here for several items. I apologize. I think I'm the bulk of your agenda tonight. So first and foremost, I did bring my new assistant director, Brianna, with me. This is Brianna Rasmussen. She's been with my office a little over a year. Back in a couple months ago, I already told you guys, I promoted her up. So I'm kind of showing her the ropes, taking her to all of the towns within the county to get her more familiar. So if I'm not here in the future, she should be. Also, just a brief update on the White County Comprehensive Plan. The website is still very much live and active. American Structure Point will be at the 4-H fair this Wednesday from 5 to 9 p.m. They were at the Spirit of Monticello Festival, and there's a community survey going around. Following the Spirit Festival, I think they were up to about 290 survey takers. So we're hoping that's increased following the fair. Okay, so for rezoned petition 1208, referring to petition 1208 to amend the official zoning maps for White County, Indiana, please be advised this petition was properly advertised by the White County Area Plan Commission. This petition was heard in a public hearing of the Area Plan Commission on July 14th, 2025. This petition was voted upon by the Area Plan Commission at that same meeting. The property subject to this petition is commonly identified as 457 West Foster Street, Monticello. Said petition requests a change in zoning district assignment for the subject property to go from R2 single and two-family residential to B2 general business. The Area Plan Commission voted to recommend this amendment to you by a vote of 7 in favor and 1 against. The office did receive a few public correspondences regarding this request. Those were forwarded to the board members in their packets, or they should have been. The first letter was from a Brian and Marie Miller. Second letter was from Todd Downs and Debbie Conover, and then an Eric Kenzer called the office. As those were already read into the record at my meeting, I will not read them into the record at yours, but you do have them for your reference. So again, the subject property is 457 West Foster Street. The parcel currently includes 2 pool buildings that are currently not being utilized, or if they were for personal storage in the past. The applicant, Ronald Bird, requested to rezone the subject parcel from R2 single and 2-family residential to B2 general business. The purpose of this rezone is to utilize the existing pool buildings as future commercial storage units. The applicant indicated in their letter of intent that one of the existing structures would contain climate-controlled storage units, while the other existing structure would contain dry storage units. From the zoning ordinance appendix B bulk use standards, the B2 district minimum requirements are 10,000 square feet of land and 70 feet of lot width. We believe, based on a recent combine, that the parcel is approximately 17,200 square feet. Therefore, it exceeds the minimum size requirements. A component of the comprehensive plan was the development of the future land use maps for each municipality. The Monticello's future land use map designated this area as traditional neighborhood residential. However, due to the fact that the surrounding properties are a mixed use of business, residential properties that vary in density and light industrial, the staff does not believe the utilization of storage units would be disruptive to the surrounding properties. I would be happy to answer any questions. As I stated, this comes to you by a vote of 7-1.
I am the aforementioned Brian Miller that she talked about. I was unable to go to the planning committee meeting. We own the property at 500 Foster, which is in very close proximity to this proposed storage units. We have several concerns, and I would like to voice them. By the way, I thank you for the opportunity to address the group here. First of all, as this lady kindly said about the aesthetics of an area, right? Residential areas. This is a very residential area, with the exception of the Good Oil thing that's across the street from where this is going to be. This is a quiet area. This is an area where traffic goes slowly through there. There's kids on the street playing, and having these storage units there has the potential for increased traffic. Also has the potential for a different clientele that could be in there. We don't know anything about the background of these people that are going to be in there, what they're storing in there. So that's another reason that we have concerns about it. There's also the potential and maybe likelihood of decreased property values, of decreased desires of people to live in this area because of the characteristics that I just gave previously. And so we would like to state for the record our opposition to this storage unit proposal.
So, yeah, I mean,
I have no question.
you do or don't? Okay, so, and I don't know your thought on this, Gary, we kind of talked this out. For me, I think it would make sense for us to table this until we have full council be able to review it in person.
I would agree with that.
You know, we've got,
Would agree with that.
you would agree with that? So I'll make that motion, then we have, the clock starts ticking on this, the normal 60 days,
90.
90 days, sorry, 90 days. I screwed that up. See, I was close though.
I'll second that
90
motion.
days from the
I'll second that motion.
presented to the council.
Bill Cheever,
Aye.
Shanda Cortez,
Aye. Aye.
Gary Allen,
Aye.
So the second thing I'm here for is Amendment A83. This is a zoning ordinance amendment referring to said petition to amend the White County, Indiana zoning control ordinance. Please be advised, this petition was properly advertised by the White County Area Plan Commission. This petition was heard in a public hearing on July 14th, 2025 by the Area Plan Commission. This petition was voted upon by the Area Plan Commission at that same meeting. Area Plan Commission voted to recommend Amendment A83 to the legislative bodies by a vote of 8 in favor, 0 against. Amendment A83 is a proposal to establish an increased maximum height allowance for development within the I3 zoning district. As you are all aware, the I3 zoning district is the industrial park zoning district. There is only one section of the county that has this type of zoning district. That's the Mid-America Commerce Park and what is currently included within that TIF district. So the proposed amendment is to go from a building height of 55 to 110 feet. I did check with Tippecanoe County's standards. Their maximum height is 100 feet, so ours would be over that. However, in doing some research on potential development that could go in there, such as commercial cold storage buildings, those can range from anywhere from 80 to 150 feet tall. So the requested height change is still below that median. I did contact the White County Airport to see if he had any sort of hesitation with this. He did not. He said typically it's within a 5-mile buffer of an airport where they kind of get a little concerned. But he expressed no concerns when I spoke to him about it over email. So again, this is to basically just increase the height allowance for the I3 zoning district. Questions?
Make a motion to pass the ordinance A83.
Just for clarification, ours is the 2025-10. Okay, right? Okay,
That's correct.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Shanda Cortez,
Aye. Aye.
Bill Cheever,
Aye.
and Gary Allen.
Aye.
Thank you. So the next zoning ordinance amendment I'm here for is Amendment A84, referring to said petition to amend the White County, Indiana zoning control ordinance. Please be advised, this petition was properly advertised by the White County Area Plan Commission. This petition was heard in a public hearing on July 14th, 2025 by the Area Plan Commission. This petition was voted upon by the Area Plan Commission at that same meeting. Amendment A84 comes to you by a vote of 8 in favor, 0 against. Amendment A84 is a proposal to incorporate standards for mobile retail food establishments, aka food trucks, into the zoning ordinance. Those standards include the districts to which they may be located, the permitting process, and identify setbacks within property boundaries. Basically, before this amendment, our staff standards was basically based off of an email from the previous director. So this gets it in writing. We have, I don't want to say a leg to stand on because we really don't get controversy about food trucks, but it basically just has an ordinance stating what food trucks have to be permitted, where they can be permitted, how long they can be permitted, etc. This does not apply to the food trucks that will be at your city sanctioned events, does not apply to food trucks at school or church sanctioned events. This is for private property food trucks. Yes, the hospital, the new feedlot up on West Schaefer Drive, etc.
Ready to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
to pass Ordinance 2025-11.
I'll second the motion. I'll second the motion.
This is not an auction, just so you know. Shanda got the motion, Gary seconded.
Waha.
Bill Cheever,
Waha.
for your vote.
Aye.
Shanda, go ahead.
Aye. Aye.
And Gary.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, can I just say two more things and I promise I'll leave? Okay, well, my comment to you. So last time I was here about a rezone, bringing a property into compliance with its zoning district, you requested that my office kind of start undergoing some rezones. We are working on it. The list is being generated. I do have a gal that is compiling a list for me. I'll review it and then we'll start. I will probably disseminate the list to you. Ask you guys as a legislative body how many you want us to do at a time, because obviously we can't do them all at one time. So we'll come up with a game plan. The second and last thing that I'm here for, back in 2023, if you all remember, previous executive director Joe Rogers and myself created a new opportunity for contractors. That was the building repurposing fund through the Area Plan Commission. Currently, any building permit that comes into the county, the money is funneled into a special fund within our department. It is called the Building Repurposing Fund. So that pot of money kind of just hangs out, and then the purpose is for if a contractor comes in with the intention to convert a structure that was previously or currently used as commercial or institutional into residential, they can essentially apply for a grant to be awarded up to 20% or $20,000 of the project cost. That does not include the cost that would be accrued when rezoning the property. That's totally on them. But basically, they would submit an application, provide the project description, the budget, specific dollar request, and then it would go before the Area Plan Commission, who could potentially disseminate the money to these developers. So that is still hanging out in my budget. I've had 0 applications, so the pot is getting pretty big. Given the current status of all the funding from all the legislative bodies, there's a chance that that's going to go away. So if you know of anybody wanting to qualify for this project, please send them my way. I'd be happy to have conversations. I have brochures. They're in both English and Spanish. So just let me know. It can be the whole thing. It can be part of a structure. Yeah, it just has to be most recently or currently used as commercial or institutional. Correct. Okay, what's your question?
My question was, I thought I saw a request for fencing. Did I not see that? Was there a question about putting a fence up somewhere?
A sign?
That went to the BCA.
That was a
Yes.
BZA? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over here. Yeah. That did pass, so no action from us because it's BZA. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just glad I didn't imagine that. So,
Hopefully the sign's gone by now, because that was last week. Is
okay.
this-
I sent an announcement about that Jenny Lynn sent to me, to all you guys. That's what you're thinking of.
Yes.
It wasn't about mushrooms. You're okay.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
Anything else? Okay. As always, it's been a pleasure.
New business, item number 2 is the wastewater first reading of ordinance number 2025-08.
This is the first reading of ordinance number 2025-08 entitled An Ordinance Amending Rates and Charges for the Use of and Services Rendered by the Wastewater Utility of the City of Monticello, Indiana. As we know, the city has retained the services of Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors to review our rates and to review the funds needed not only for the normal day-to-day operation of the facility, but also to fund Phase 5 of the city's long-term control plan project. And as recited in the ordinance, there's an estimated total cost of approximately $30 million for that project. So after Baker Tilly's analysis and report to the council and recommendations made thereon, and my understanding of what the council wants to do, You have for introduction on first reading tonight that ordinance 2025-08. If it's to be enacted, the law requires that a public hearing be held, which can be held at the next meeting on August 4th at 6 p.m. with a notice published at least 10 days prior, and that notice should be published this coming Wednesday. First of all, if there's any questions, let us know, but the appropriate motion would be to approve this ordinance on first reading, to pass it on for second reading, public hearing on August 4th. Any questions?
With no questions, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-08, first reading, moving to second reading.
Second.
Shanda Cortez,
Aye. Aye.
Bill Cheever,
Aye.
and Gary Allen.
Aye.
Thank you. Oh, wow, last thing is the motion approved to pay the bills. Is that right? Last time?
We'll make a motion to pay the accounts payable vouchers.
I'll second.
Shanda Cortez,
Aye. Aye.
Bill Cheever,
Aye.
and Gary Allen.
Aye.
Anything else, Bill?
I do not have anything.
Gary? Nope. Okay, if there's nothing else, our next meeting will be on the 4th at 6 o'clock. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.